Hey, how you doing? Welcome to Geeks and Gamers Play, and the whole Microsoft buyout of Activision Blizzard has really heated up in the past week. Multiple people, talking about insider sources with the FTC, Sony not really liking the whole thing that's going on, and now Microsoft claims that Sony is more interested in talking to regulators than Xbox about the Activision deal. I couldn't understand why they would want to do this. Now, look, honestly, I think the way Sony's gone about this whole thing has been rather sooky, in all honesty. It just seems like they're really desperate to stop this deal from happening. In fact, I think their purchase of Bungie is more of a fuck you to Microsoft. They're basically getting their ex-girlfriend instead of actually trying to build something up to be a competitor. So Phil Spencer thinks he has a good idea of how to build a win-win relationship with Sony. Now, I don't know why he needs to do that. So the head of Xbox has claimed that Sony is showing little willingness to come to the table in a bid to reach an agreement over Microsoft's proposed acquisition of Activision Blizzard. So one of Sony's primary objections to the $68.7 billion deal is the fact that it would see Microsoft gain control of Call of Duty, a franchise PlayStation called irreplaceable in its recent filing with the UK Competition and Markets Authority. Now that's interesting when you consider how much money God of War Ragnarok has made, and that's only a PlayStation exclusive as well. So that just shows you how little faith they actually have all of them if they're that reliant on Call of Duty. Now granted, COD is a money printing franchise, and we saw that again with the release of Modern Warfare 2 earlier this year. Now I've said this before and I will say it again, I do not see a world where Microsoft takes Call of Duty completely away from PlayStation. There's ways that they can kind of fuck them over, but they will never take it away because the majority of the players are on PlayStation, and that means you'll be taking away majority of the players' access to in-game purchases, cosmetics, battle passes, all that type of stuff. So you're losing a fuck ton of money right there. So Sony has claimed that Microsoft's ownership of Call of Duty would tip the balance of power so heavily in favor that ultimately PlayStation might be unable to compete. It is also claimed that Microsoft's true strategy behind the Activision Blizzard deal is to have PlayStation become like Nintendo and not compete in the 18-rated shooter space. Now that is interesting because we did actually see that Nintendo is looking to have Call of Duty on the Nintendo, and Phil Spencer is totally cool with that. So with the future of Call of Duty series as a multi-platform product being one of the key areas of scrutinization by worldwide regulators, Microsoft said this week that it has offered Sony a 10-year legally enforceable contract to make sure each new series entry is available on PlayStation the same day that it comes to Xbox. Now, granted, they could use this to push Game Pass heavily in their favor. They could say, new Call of Duty comes out day one for all platforms. Xbox Game Pass, if you have Xbox Game Pass, you get it over there. If you have PlayStation, you got to pay full price. So, yeah, they can definitely screw them over a little bit. Anyway, and on Wednesday, it has also been offered similar ideas to Nintendo and Steam. So, but Sony isn't interested in negotiating with Microsoft over Call of Duty. Phil Spencer suggested in an interview with Bloomberg, there's been one game industry participant that's really been raising all the objections, and that's Sony. And they've been fairly public about the things that don't meet their expectations, he said. From where we sit, it's clear they're spending more time with the regulators than they are with us to try to get this deal done. Spencer added, our intent is to become more relevant on more screens. We have a pretty good idea of how to build a win-win relationship with Nintendo and, frankly, Sony. So the European Commission and the UK CMA recently launched an in-depth probes into the Microsoft's acquisition plans, and it's been claimed that the US FTC could file an antitrust lawsuit and attempt to stop the Activision deal going through. So yeah, there is a lot going on. This whole deal has really heated up in the past, I want to say month. It's just gone absolutely fully skids. But there we go. We have Microsoft claiming Sony is more interested in talking to regulators than Xbox about this Activision deal. And like I said, I think Sony is just kind of scared of this whole thing. But what do you guys make of all this? Drop your thoughts in the comment section down below. Be sure to subscribe to Geeks and Gamers Play and check out geeksandgamers.com. And I'll see you all in the next video.